watching College Football Now, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we are going to take a look at the NCAA transfer portal, the top 25 players to enter the portal. We'll discuss where they could potentially end up. A couple players already announcing their intentions of where they'll play football in 2025. We'll break it all down for you coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do that, folks, if you want more college football content from Chat Sports, the bosses say we need to get 20 new subscribers off today's video. We are counting you down to the start of college football playoff. We'll be doing some college football watch parties here on the channel. We'll also bring you some news and rumors, live shows, transfer portal, recruiting, all of that and more covered right here each and every day on College Football Now by Chat Sports. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/chatsportstv, and we'll get started with today's show. The number one player in the portal in 2025 is Eric Singleton Jr., the wide receiver from Georgia Tech, and that Georgia Tech offense looked a lot better in the second half of this season. Got to think that Singleton will be able to find a pretty decent home. Speaking of receivers, number two on our list is Kevin Concepian, the wide receiver from NC State. And then we find another receiver at number three. That is Micah Hudson out of Texas Tech. And now we finally break the mold of wide receivers as we go to the defensive side of the ball. And a sneaky good find here. Ben Bell from Texas State, edge rusher. He's got an opportunity to really elevate his game going from the Sun Belt Conference there at Texas State. Expectations are that he will be a Power 4 football player wherever he ends up in 2025 as far as that goes. And then the next player on our list is Kentucky wide receiver Dane Key, who is certainly a name to watch as well at the wide receiver position. As you could tell already, plenty of wide receivers to choose from in the portal. A plethora, certainly the strongest position here in the transfer portal of the winter portal here in 2025. Let's ask you guys, simple question. Do you like the transfer portal? If you don't, that's fine. If you love it, that's great too. Weigh in on our pin comment today. Let us know what you think. Type L for like, D for dislike if you like the transfer portal or not. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in. Let us know. L for like, D for dislike. Let's continue. The number 6 player on our list is Xavier Chaplin, offensive tackle from Virginia Tech. And we go back to the defensive side of the ball for the number 7 player on our list. That is Tacario Davis, corner from Arizona. Then at number 8, Purdue has a new head coach in Barry Odom. And with that, you should expect an exodus of players from Ryan Walters' former team. And that's where we find Purdue tight end Max Klare, one of the few standouts from that Purdue football team this past season. He comes in at number 8 on our list. And then at number 9, we have another receiver from Kentucky. That is Barion Brown, who's certainly another name to watch as well. And then at number 10, this one of the most notable names of our entire list. That is Oklahoma wide receiver Nic Anderson. The Oklahoma Sooners this year were very shorthanded at the receiver position. They were without their top 5 starting receivers, including Anderson, this season for much of the year. And Nic Anderson was a guy that was expected to have a fantastic season with OU, but missed most of 2024 with a quad injury. His freshman season in 2023, he was named a freshman All-American first team by The Athletic, was an All-Big 12 honorable mention. There was a lot of hype and excitement about Anderson when he was at Oklahoma as he set the freshman receiving record for yards and catches there at OU. But after not seeing the field this year due to that injury, he enters the portal. And there were some questions about his time with Oklahoma about whether or not he could potentially make a return and if he intentionally sat out as Oklahoma had a struggling season under Brent Venables this past season in his third year at OU. Where will Oklahoma wide receiver Nic Anderson end up in the transfer portal? Get your predictions in now. Tell us where you think Anderson is going to end up. Before we go any further in today's show, let's tell you about our sponsor. That is PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose 2 or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, just to name a few. Football, a big deal this time of year on PrizePicks with the college playoffs around the corner. We're in the home stretch of the professional football league season, and PrizePicks has got quite the deal they are offering you, folks. They will give you $50 to spend for free when you play $5. You don't even have to win to get the money. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. This week on PrizePicks, looking at a little pro football action. Sunday night football, the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Green Bay Packers. I got Tyler Lockett to have more than 22.5 receiving yards, going with Josh Jacobs, the former Alabama Crimson Tide running back, to have less than 73.5 rushing yards. I guess you could say he entered the portal last year going from the Raiders to the Packers. Play along with me, prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. If I put $20 down on my entry and I win, that turns into $60 on PrizePicks. Check it out today. PrizePicks, proud partner of Chat Sports. All right, let's continue with our list now as Lincoln Riley loses a key receiver to the portal. That is Duce Robinson there at USC. Another Purdue player, this time it is Dillon Thieneman at the safety position. While Cal, they lose quarterback Fernando Mendoza to the portal. At number 14, we have another quarterback, this one from Florida State. That is Luke Kromenhoek with the next name on this list, as Florida State has some major questions about what they'll do at the quarterback position. DJU was supposed to have a big year that obviously didn't work out. And then we head to Illinois State. This guy's getting some pretty decent love. He's going to have a nice jump, and he's already committed to where he's going to go next. That is Illinois State offensive tackle Hunter Zambrano, and he has committed to Texas Tech, joining the Red Raiders there. And so Texas Tech getting some nice help on that offensive line for Joey McGuire's crew. We continue. Let's go to number 16 on our list. That is where we find C.J. Daniels, the wide receiver from LSU. While Texas State running back Ismail Mahdi is also in the portal. He's looking to make that jump up to the Power 4. While Josh Moten, the corner from Marshall, is also on this list. And then we find Kevin Coleman, wide receiver from Mississippi State, also at number 19. Rounding out the top 20, this guy's already committed. He is a pretty decent quarterback on our list. That is Darian Mensah, quarterback from Tulane, and he is headed to Duke. Malik Murphy, who was at Duke previously, transferred in from Texas. He's in the portal now, and so the idea is that he will be the replacement for Malik Murphy there at Duke. Let's round out our top 25. This is where we find ULM running back Ahmad Hardy checking in at number 21. Number 22 is Eric Rivers, Florida International wide receiver. Then we find Julian Humphrey, corner from Georgia, at number 23. Number 24, we find Johntay Cook, the second wide receiver from Texas. And then rounding out the top 25, a very familiar name to college football fans, Miller Moss from USC. The start of 2024 looked pretty promising for Miller Moss. He was coming off a Holiday Bowl offensive MVP performance around this time a season ago, then played really well in the opening win against LSU in Vegas. USC looked like they could be a contending team, and then the wheels fell off the wagon pretty fast for the Trojans. He ended up getting benched after a 4-5 record and lost his job there. He had waited a long time to be the starting quarterback at SC behind Caleb Williams. And the way he played initially at the beginning of the season, there was rumblings about him potentially being a first-round draft pick, but then things fell off pretty quickly. Miller Moss, plenty of experience. If you're looking for a veteran quarterback, Miller Moss could be your guy. Where will Miller Moss end up in the transfer portal? Let us know in the comments section. Get your predictions in of where you think he will play college football in 2025. For continuing college football coverage, subscribe now to College Football Now by Chat Sports. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.